Hey guys, we'll get started in just a few minutes. Since I've had to adjust things, AR, say a few words. Let's see if we can functionally hear you. Hmm, they cannot. Oh, I can 100% tell they cannot hear you. So let's try this again. I believe they'll be able to if you talk, AR.
If it's 100%, that
Yeah,
means that,
there.
that's a good sign that it's on your end.
Oh no, see, the thing that makes it easy is actually looking at the audio meters as this is going on.
Yeah, that would help.
As in, I'm staring at the audio meter, it's like, oh, AR's talking, and it's not moving at all. Yeah,
Mhm.
I had to play with audio settings for reasons we'll get into in a few weeks. And I had to then readjust everything today when I realized, oh, my headset hasn't been plugged in the past week and a half. I need to actually make sure this is all set up because normally, since I undo all the audio settings as I unplug it and close the program doesn't know the headset's ever been unplugged.
Jeez, take a week
Ah,
off and everything goes to hell.
Okay. Dev, why don't you say a few words?
as usual, I'm very tired, but also I got a raise, so
Yeah, but
fuck yeah.
you get to do
Yay.
you get to do your favorite cheat this week. AR is here, so you can just pretend like you don't have anything to say and just avoid it.
Hell yes, I can just disassociate half the time and play Animal Crossing.
Let's see. Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Think so.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform, but we'll talk about Digimon. I'm Mark, run with the will.
I'm AR Pulver, your source for Digimon Frontier meta on Tumblr.
Yeah,
I'm DevQ and I'm very curious.
now that people have decided they're sending you the questions directly, you're getting like the follow-up ones.
Yeah, I've had like 3 Frontier questions in a row. It's been something. I've actually got another one in the inbox I need to answer.
Yeah,
Nice.
I remember one question you answered like a week and a half ago. I sat there and I went, I'm 99% sure this person sent a question to the podcast for you before because the writing was very familiar. I
Hmm.
don't remember which one it was.
Sometimes I know sometimes I can tell who it is, sometimes I can't.
I think it was someone arguing with you about something. I don't remember what, but I think the argument was brought up on in a question like 6, 7 months ago, and I think it was like the
That's
same thing.
possible. It's a popular subject, the question I got that
I,
kicked
I,
it all off.
I mean, almost any argument is popular with Digimon fandom these days.
Especially with Frontier fans, you never know what they're thinking.
Frontier fans are always standing right behind the corner waiting for when they'll get to strike. Because like
Yep,
if you're gonna go past Tamers to give products, that's the one that's next up.
Patamon doing really well in that one poll we'll get into in a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over with that poll, especially because that's one of those weird ones that people got upset about before like thinking about it. It feels like.
We'll get into it.
Yes, we will.
Let's talk Ghost Game.
First, how was everyone's week off and AR's 2 weeks off where he had to fight the crazy COVID people?
Fight crazy COVID people successfully, I should mention.
True, we should mention that.
Huzzah.
I still like how you're like, no, Mark's not joking about this. This is actually what's going on.
Yeah, well, it was a mob of anti-COVID people trying to get their voice in a school board meeting, and we had to get enough people
Yeah,
to vote them down. Basically,
yeah,
it was close.
You
yeah.
should have just tasered them.
Wish I could. It's
Dev,
not how
Dev,
democracy
Dev,
works.
Dev. We've been over this. Every problem can't be solved by stabbing, tasering, or I believe at least once you said throwing chocolate at someone.
I mean, you won't know until you try.
And
I mean, historically, killing someone or horribly maiming them generally solves whatever problem is happening.
But it also creates a bunch of new
yes,
ones.
and this
So
is
it's
But
a
the
why
little
problem is
messy.
solved.
Dev does not talk very much because Dev's considering maiming as the primary option. And
I mean,
then
when you have a job in retail, I understand.
and no one was maimed
Violence
in
is the answer.
Scribbles. They were almost maimed, but they were not.
Well,
Very
technically,
close.
someone did get maimed.
No,
One was in a car
pe-
accident.
Yeah,
I
there
don't-
was someone that
oh
dude in the
yeah.
wheelchair did that was a thing for a minute.
Well, no, it was just like he couldn't walk. The instant
His
he
Yeah.
couldn't
car
have
was
been
flipped
no,
over.
but here's the thing: he couldn't have been maimed because the instant the spell went away, he was jumping up and down. So he clearly wasn't maimed. It was, a hex or whatever you want to call it.
We gonna have to start a
I don't know,
petition.
there was
Let
like
Ghost Game maim
broken
somebody.
glass everywhere.
Hey, at least if someone got maimed, the talks about how violent the show is would at least be accurate.
Yeah.
Everyone's hoping for it.
I'm. We have stuff later that tells us for a fact that it will never go to the place people want it, seemingly want
No,
it to go to.
absolutely no.
Like
It
we
won't.
actually have commentary on that as of today, and we start with girl who has multiple names, but I'm going with Ruli because I'm too lazy to deal with it. And oddly,
Oh, you
and
gave
odd.
in.
No, here's what made me decide to give in. They're actually pronouncing it with a more distinct L sound than I expected, to be honest. I was leaning
Mm,
to Ruli just to not deal with it, and then hearing the episode, they're actually emphasizing the L, and I said, oh, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this shit. Ruli it is until someday someone will flip out and a home video release will have an R instead of an L.
YOLO.
Yeah, the instant I heard the L pronunciation in there, where it was like a more thick L, I said, oh, I'm not fucking dealing with this at all.
I
I'll
mean, it
have
wouldn't
to
make
list.
sense if, like, they introduced her parents later on. It's like, oh, one of her parents is a foreigner. Like,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, her
yeah.
her dad lodger.
Um, but yeah, so we start off with her. I'm kind of torn on the introduction because we got a very nice introduction to her, but does it feel like we didn't really learn much about her?
No, it's yeah, we didn't. That was my really big complaint about the episode is that I guess it's not that big. It was still pretty
Oh no, it's
successful episode
yes,
in many ways, but it didn't really tell us a whole lot about her because instead of, getting to see her in normal mode, she spends the whole time freaking out about this. Like
yeah.
rightfully so, but
But
we
basically,
don't really get a whole lot of her personality.
what it is that in this 23-minute episode, about 10 minutes of it are perfect, and the rest kind of could have used. It doesn't make it bad. It's very good, but it could have used some character tightening because, like, I actually like the stuff of her wandering around, but it kind of adds up to we haven't been introduced to her properly yet, and that feels weird considering the entire episode is her, and the first half is almost entirely her.
Mhm, and it's a contrast to the way we see her in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Or she's
Like,
just
her
like in the
personality in the first
background,
2
or
episodes, yeah, it's a very different than, what we see of her here. I mean, it's not bad. It's and I
different.
do like
it's just different.
I do kind of like the slow burn suffering element
Oh
of
no,
it.
that worked well,
Like, that pacing is really, really cool, but yeah,
but
it's like I just need to know more about her.
yeah, especially since it feels like to me the first two episodes they set up a very specific character that's sort of I don't wacky's not quite the right word, but wacky adventure girl.
Mhm.
Jinkies.
And then this episode went, okay, we have a plot involving her, and the plot is so specific to her that they've removed the ability for her to do anything character related to herself, minus the piano.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Well,
not like she
at one point
completely
her hand goes through the piano.
True, but
Yeah,
it gives us
and it's not
information about her, though.
like we learn a couple things, I guess. Like we do like she's not completely resigned to this. She does take
No,
actions to try to
yeah,
resolve this. That's an important takeaway. Other than that, it's
And also,
pretty
she doesn't want her friends
spotty.
to worry.
yes.
And she doesn't want her friends to worry.
And the two things early in the episode that I have to comment on. The first is I actually love the glove. That's a great like
Mhm.
science fiction plot touch of how to deal with it visually for her.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
one where I feel like the writing never goes off the rails in this episode. It works very well. The one time it almost did was when they really decided they wanted to focus on a deleted photo comes back and characters go, but I deleted it. And that happens so commonly with photos nowadays anyways that I don't
Mhm.
think that actually worked. And they focused on that, was it 2 or 3 times, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
with the other
yeah. I would have skipped that
random passerby.
entirely because that just doesn't work with the way technology works for
And it doesn't connect as well to the actual mystery, which
yeah,
is her hand is
yes.
disappearing.
Yeah. And
Like,
then
at that point, who cares if the picture's
yeah.
coming back?
The only other like really negative thing I had to say about this one, and maybe I just missed it, why's how's Hero getting in touch with her? Like
Well,
what?
Hero
Like
was
like
kind of
is it just oh he saw it in the last episode and but like how
that's
does he
what yeah,
know who she is
that's
and
how I took it, is that he was kind of like
spying on her?
he
I
saw her
guess.
he saw Angoramon behind her, and it's like, okay, I have to kind of make a note to keep tabs on this girl,
That and
and
his
eventually
buddy
he
is
found a
just
way
like
to get in
obsessed with her.
contact with her.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he knew about her situation. He was
No,
just
that's what I
reaching
mean.
out going, "Hey, there's a hey, just wanted to catch up with you because there's
But
a,
I'm saying,
a
I'm saying, how
Digimon
does he
stalking
even
you."
know who she is to contact her? Is what I mean.
Oh,
Oh,
he's very
first
resourceful.
episode.
No, no, no. His
Oh,
friend knows her online persona, but he doesn't know that's her. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he showed whatever his name is because I can't remember. Uh, showed Hero his phone with her on it,
Okay, so
with her
he
social
actually
media page
knows.
up.
So okay, fair enough. I thought that that was like a more pseudo anonymous page, like the photo she had where you can't see her face and that sort of thing. You're saying that they actually showed that it was her.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I'm
then
Okay,
he
sure.
saw
no,
her walking
Yeah.
by,
okay,
and a
fair enough.
Digimon, a giant
No,
Totoro
fair
bunny
enough.
is stalking her.
Yeah. But
That
yeah,
take
that's right. Kotaro was into
okay
was following the
that takes
channel or
care of that
something.
issue entirely. Then, for some reason,
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten that he actually knew who she was.
But that's sort of, I feel like that was kind of intentional. That they spent enough of the episode giving Rudy her own time to establish herself before they brought Hito into it, which I thought was kind of a nice touch. I'm like it almost fills you up with a little bit of dread because I'm actually wondering, it's like, how is Hito going to be brought into this? And then it's like he sends that email. It's like,
You
oh yeah, yeah, he saw
so
Angoramon.
what you're saying is it's exactly what they did with Ty, where he just appears out of nowhere to help.
No, they established what Dev said about establishing that, but you kind of forget about that over the
Uh,
course of Rudy's
and
situation.
then I like that they kept switching the perspective from Hero to Ruli of what you can see, and using that to show exactly like how a non
Mhm.
realized Digimon works in that world visually. So like we get to see Gamamon clearly holding on to him but just floating in the air.
Mhm.
I thought that worked. I actually really liked that. It They cleared up a lot of shit in this episode, I do have to say. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
exactly
peeling
what
back the
Digimon
layers
can
and
and can't
building the
do.
world.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at first they kind of played Angoramon as silent, then when he started talking it's like, yeah, I know this voice. He shows up a lot. Um
It's like, oh, he's surprisingly eloquent. I thought this was going to be
And
a
he's
Hulk smash kind of thing.
yeah, and he also, I think, and it's sort of nice because he's quiet when he felt like he was allowed to be, and then all of a sudden he kind of sensed that like, maybe I should speak up and defend myself because things are looking a little sketch.
yeah.
Suddenly people are
Um
going to point fingers my way, and I want everyone to know this isn't my fault.
yeah,
It's like this tiny dinosaur is totally gonna fucking vibe check
it's
me.
actually funny
Yep.
that they began to set up doing that plot and then they just cut it off right before it could go. And I actually kind of like that because that is almost a too easy to do stereotypical, oh, he's the
Mhm.
one doing everything. Oh, wait, no, he's not. And they just got rid of
Mhm.
that. I actually like that
Yeah,
they just,
and Goromon's just flat out like, I know what you're thinking, and no, it's not
yeah.
me.
And they used him to basically shove the plot from 0 to 100 in like 10, 20 seconds.
It also,
It's
yeah,
like it's
well,
Dracmon and he's a little dick.
Yeah, they spent enough time dealing with Rudy that they don't really had time. They didn't really have time to for any sort of
Yeah,
investigation. So they're just like
yeah.
Angoromon's just like, okay, here's what's going on.
Although I will say, I was a bit thrown off by them calling it materializing. They've been so hardcore on like realize, rearise in recent years. It honestly felt like that's what they were just gonna use. I my
Yeah,
best
same.
my best guess is they don't want to clash with a separate mobile game at the moment.
Yeah,
But like,
that makes sense.
yeah, that's my best guess. But it feels like that's one of those weird times when like the franchise has sort of built into a term, so you might as well just go with it.
Mm. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, because they were using Realize all the way back in like Savers, probably,
Yeah.
arguably Tamers, I guess, with the ones
yeah.
popping in from the fog.
But they've gone very hardcore with it in the last few years,
Oh yeah,
especially.
for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we get to see Dracuman, which hey, he gets a starring role in something that actually comes out. Um, do you think
He was
Gamamon
in
will?
Hunters. He
Okay, yeah.
didn't do anything, but he was in
Okay,
Hunters.
but he gets to show up 10 years later after he was supposed to show up 3 years ago. Um, and I wish they would have commented on someone taking a bite out of Gamamon, to be honest,
Hmm.
because that's such a character specific thing for him, just like chomping on shit at random and people, that it feels like there's some sort of moment for a good, whether it's a gag or a serious comment, to do something with that. I would have liked. It wasn't necessary, and they kind of were running out of time, so I kind of get not. But
You
yeah,
just really want them to do the man bites dog joke.
yeah, you really do, because it really felt like they were gonna do it too. But yeah,
Yeah.
then we get to see pseudo hypnotized hero, hypnotized Gamamon. Gamamon keeps getting knocked out of it and going, "I'm Gamamon," and just, and then
I like
Angoramon,
that it just keeps working.
Becomes a real rabbit.
That's
Yay.
terrible.
I don't
And
know,
then
But
that
actually
whole
what I
thing
had
was
in
just
mind the entire time.
so by the book that it was like it was fine. It just
it
was very
it,
ordinary
it would have
as
helped
far as
if
the realization.
the fight was dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
Like I
Also,
have
I
to
like that you just like glomped onto him afterwards. It's like, oh my god, you're so fluffy.
I mean,
well,
Rudy
he is
kind of
fluffy,
did
to be
that.
fair. I will say the one thing I am tired of at this point, I'm already kind of tired of the attacks
Yeah, where it's like,
where it
yeah.
stops to show the text flying behind them so they can yell it out.
I I'm not tired of it yet, but I will probably be in probably the episode after Kiyoshiro's
So
gets his thing.
here's where it gets weird. They could easily stop doing it in a couple episodes and then whatever. It's only actually an issue for me if it's something the show just does over and over again. It
Yeah.
sort of like
It's sort of
Adventure.
like the constant. It's sort of like for me the constant captions in Cross
Yes.
Wars
No.
of
See,
attack names.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
gonna say the name captions in Adventure 2020,
Yeah.
where we
Oh,
100%.
those weren't obtrusive enough for me. Those were
I
fine.
I guess you're right, but sometimes
I think it's
it
yeah.
felt it felt it
It's the
felt
it's the attack captions in Cross Wars
yeah,
is the
those were worse.
comparison here.
I guess in
Yeah.
Adventure they seem more noticeable because very often when they appeared, the character was introducing themselves at that exact time with their name.
Or it's
I
like
mean,
we
that's a
saw them 2 episodes
I mean,
ago.
it's a substitute for the old analyzer screens, and it's
Yeah.
way less obtrusive than those.
Well, but yeah, these are annoying versions of the analyzer screens. I would hope they naturally go away, or at least aren't used a lot.
I think they'll start fading them out once we get used to everyone's
Yeah,
attacks.
and Dracuman apologizes, gives Hero his eyes, and then goes off and does the enemy coo. Of course, I haven't really reformed.
Like that's not
Okay.
gonna bite them in the ass later, is
So
it?
so
Okay.
here's the weird thing. it's kind of a coin flip if it bites them in the ass or not, because we're kind of in that zone where we don't know what the show's doing yet. So this could either be set up for later, or it going, well, we said it's, horror themed, and in horror themes the villain often will, either there's a misunderstanding or they will go and, show up at the very end. I don't know if we're far enough in that I'm sure what they're doing yet.
I'm with you with that as far as Clockmon. With Dracmon, this feels a little more like he's gonna come back in some
No,
capacity.
that's what I mean. He should, but this could also easily
Yeah.
be the end of a Friday the 13th movie, and Jason's not there after anymore.
Well, but for that to really work, they'd have to keep doing it, and it's going to get really annoying if there's no payoff at some point.
I need a fight payoff soon, to be honest. That's
They just
my
need to
Yeah.
straight up murder someone.
that is my
I
that is my primary complaint with the show so far is they're not going much anywhere with the conclusion to what's happening. And here's the thing, that could go away next week. You could have Mummymon pop up to help them, and then that problem
Mhm.
kind of goes away. I need some sort
Yeah.
of payoff for the way these episodes are ending, though, is my
I could
only
see
real
like
concern.
just some sort of all hell breaks loose situation where all of the Digimon they let go before just all show up at once and raise
What if it's
hell.
like the end of Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, containment unit shut off and
wouldn't
everything
that
goes nuts.
Yes.
wouldn't that sort of
Yes.
be the end of Crosswords, though? We're like, oh, Shoutmon's back, and then the music starts up, and then all of a sudden, all the stuff they've saved throughout the episode, everyone just starts to appear.
I mean, that was the good guy version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: there's been 3 guys so far, and at least one of them would show up to help. I don't think you can. I don't think you could honestly bring back that Mummymon as a villain without saying, "Oh, he's been hypnotized by Drakumon or whatever."
Oh, I'm given how easily he was persuaded that mummification was a modern day
Oh,
healing
here's the
ritual.
thing.
I'm
Here's the
sure
thing.
you can talk him into
Oh
all
no, here's
sorts
the
of
thing. Here's the thing.
stuff.
You can use him as stupid. You can't use. I don't think you can use that one as evil, though.
No, you can't use him as evil, but definitely stupid can
Yeah.
do the job
Oh
just
no,
as
no.
effectively.
Yes, but that's where I think in a group.
I learned a new thing. It's called bloodletting.
Uh,
Are there any
and
good leech
and
Digimon?
it feels like in the next episode we'll probably get confirmation on if they can unrealize, because Angormon's not going to be an easy guy to hide, is
They'll
he?
just say he's like a permanent fursuiter.
And Drakumon with his nice familiar voice, it's Pico Devimon.
Little
Oh,
asshole.
okay. Which
Gee,
confirms that Derek Stephen Prince would dub him in the dub.
how could they ever find an actor to play an asshole Japanese little shit, and they just go Pico Devimon? Let's just get him.
Yep.
Did they share an attack actually? I think
That's
one of their random attacks might be the same, or is functionally the same.
Probably like the generics from like the
Yeah.
Digimon World games.
And the next time we get the Dolls Manor with everyone's favorite Pumpmon.
I am
it's a
hyped.
Halloween episode.
And
On Halloween!
and this is also where
Yay.
people need to stop saying the show was delayed randomly because of politics. It was not. They knew that was coming. They not only knew it was coming, they made sure we could get the fucking Halloween. We get the Jack-o'-lantern episode for Halloween.
They planned it so the Halloween episode airs on Halloween.
Yeah, the Digimon crews have
were
always
well
been
aware of this.
The Digimon crews have always been very good about knowing when their shit would air and scheduling as that. And
I mean,
this one really works.
Remember that Atmon changed the ending to honor Haru's birthday, or
on
Haru
his
as
birthday,
you're
as I
calling
recall.
him now. Yeah, on his birthday.
Hey, if we're gonna use proper translations the way Wikimon demands, I believe we and Wikimon have to change his name to Hal.
Yeah, that's what you're going with.
Why would you do this, Dave?
because we can't make fun of Yaxtumon anymore. You
Unless
fixed
someone
it, Dev.
changes it back again.
I thought you locked it so no one could. You there, Dev?
Well, the people that do most of the changing are also admins, so
Yo, mod. Let's see if it's changed back. No, it is still Yo mod.
surprising.
Good has defeated evil this week.
For now.
Yeah. And I will say, one thing they actually really should do more in is lining things up. They kind of did it when Kizuna came out, but like having the Pumpmon episode when Pumpmon's the raid boss,
Ooh.
because
Oh.
Pumpmon's the raid boss, but it's like Pumpmon on like a giant thing, and they made it look really menacing, and it looks really good, and it's like the perfect time to have an episode with him. So like I would like to see more of that weird kind of stuff where
There's a lot more opportunities to do it with
a weekly show.
yeah.
And with it not being
It's
one,
episodic
yes.
helps.
Yeah. In fact, one
And
second.
the Ghost Game are literally using vital bracelets.
Yes. And sharing that image with everyone of the Pumpmon raid boss. It's amazing.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is just fantastic, that raid boss design. And then
I love it.
so we get our Halloween episode next week, and as I'm getting ready to go to bed last night, I go, you know, it's about the time for a quarterly fiscal report.
It's what we
And
live for.
if I could get away with not ever mentioning these, I actually would, because they're a pain in the ass to deal with. But the
I
problem
bet.
is literally any time someone sees one of these, we get like a page and a half of the sky is falling from people who don't understand what fiscal reports are. And I know this because I saw multiple people going, see, Toei, a Digimon game would do good if it came out, if you finished it. It's like, yeah, wrong company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ranting at an animation company, and even if they were the game company, they would not be listening to your ranting. But you're actually ranting at a company that not has nothing to do with it, but has no functional to do with it. So let's look at our nice quarterly financial update. The copyright business is up about 21%, and they actually note that Digimon Adventure merchandising outside of Japan is a strong part of that business, and was noted specifically as being part of the reason why it up. And then the part that everyone loves, the calendar page. Functionally, the calendar page is useless to us because there's basically nothing new here. Survive 2022 because, they have to be aware of this stuff for what stuff they're going to do that are related to it. They gave Digimon a sidebar once again, which it got one last time. The main point this time is, hey, transitioning from Adventure to Ghost Game, they'll be appealing to a wide range of Digimon consumers, and the main target audience is elementary school students.
Yep.
L-
As a
a
reminder.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I could have left out. It feels like people occasionally need a reminder of that, doesn't it?
The show is for
Yes,
children.
that is why anytime I see someone you go, the show's so grisly. No, it's not.
It's not. It's not, and it's not going to
I've
be.
seen I've seen multiple people use the term like grisly, menacing in regards to Drakumon. No,
Really?
yes, I've seen the word
Really?
grizzly.
Drakumon? Wow. That's sad.
Yes, it is. And then, so we have nothing else to really say about this minus, hey, brand's doing good. They keep noting it, and it keeps showing up in the charts. Although oddly, you can tell how little they actually have going on right now. That the front page is literally just 2 poster images. They normally put like 3, 6, 8. Here it's Ghost Game and World Trigger. we have anything else to say about the thrilling financial report, which points
It
out
is.
that all
Yeah.
which points out that next year
And
we're getting a Knights of the Zodiac movie, which God, I can't imagine actually wanting to see that.
Mm.
as far as Toei is aware, Survive still exists.
Yes.
That's yeah.
And it's coming in 2022, theoretically.
As
Eh,
far as they
Yeah.
know.
And then we have V Jump. So V Jump's kind of spread out throughout everything this week, so we're just kind of going over the stuff that kind of didn't fit anywhere else. So we got the nice little anime page that had to do with episode 2, a bit of minimal interview content, which nothing super interesting has popped out. Onke's translated a few things on Twitter. It's basically been what we expected, to be honest. Some interesting stuff, but nothing super crazy. I like every Rear Eyes page, to be honest, even though I have no interest in playing it. It just
I need
Same.
looks
to
nice.
get back. I need to get back into it.
Like they
I haven't started season 2 yet.
whether it's a full page or a small part of a page, they make it look very exciting, don't they?
I mean, for a mobile game, for a
Yeah.
mobile gotcha game, it's darn exciting.
I think I
Yeah.
think you. How can you say that, AR? We know Digimon fans don't like gacha because they still won't be quiet about the dim card GPs.
Oh God.
That's one reason why I could never care that much about them being gachas. Is there's so much gacha in Digimon, anyways. It just yeah.
You don't need to. The nice thing about Rear Eyes is you don't need to rely on the gotcha gods too
Yeah.
much to get too far in the game.
And then because they really wanted this extra page because there's nothing here, we get to see the model kits and the Ghost Game figures. And I don't think there's even any new images here, is there? Or am I don't think I'm wrong there.
There really isn't.
They just really wanted to show. I have the Ghost Game figures pre-ordered. I want them. I, I feel like Gamamon's my favorite of these three, but it could change when I, see the actual paint usage. I actually really like them though, so I'm looking forward to seeing those.
They are precious.
Yeah, and then Faction came out.
I like the full version.
The full version is what feels like what we thought we were gonna get with Q. Where we thought,
Yeah,
where we
it gets weird in the middle,
yeah,
and then builds up to a really strong finale.
and of course you have a second lead singer on the song, which helps it
Yeah,
transition.
it does.
This is what we thought we were gonna get with Q, where we heard the song on the show and we went, I can hear some definite changes there that could be interesting from where we think the song's being clipped to make the show. And then we heard the full song,
Mhm.
we're like, oh, they didn't clip anything. They just don't do anything with it. Here, they do stuff with it. It's very interesting, and I like the song. And I
I
bought the
actually
Yeah,
like
single.
it's
the music video as well. It's like
Yeah,
it
yeah. The
feels
music
Halloween-y.
videos,
the
all
music
right.
video is very nice, and the primary thing I saw with the music video is wow, that really is Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and at this point, most international streaming services have the song there, in some form or another. So very easy to find. Yeah, I like the song, and next week I believe is I do not remember the end song name anymore. My brain has frozen on it.
I forgot there was an end song.
Oh,
It has
pedal,
made no
pedal.
impression. It has made no impression on me.
You never like end songs though.
I like end songs plenty. The end songs
What
in the
name
reboot were
name the
really good.
name the last TV Digimon end song you liked?
Um,
I don't mean that in like a mean way. I just don't remember you liking end
I
songs
don't
that
remember
much.
titles. It's more that I don't remember titles.
Okay,
The last
name a
reboot one was
series.
really good.
Which one?
Oh, the last one from the reboot.
Oh,
I
that's
like
true.
like
You did like that one. Yes, you did.
yeah,
That's absolutely true.
I'd say I liked 3 of the 5 from the reboot, which is a pretty good percentage.
Q is still disappointing to me because I expected so much from it.
Yeah, Q the full version doesn't live up, but
Yeah,
the TV size is good.
yeah. I think the full
Yes, I
version
love
of
the visual for the TV size as well.
yeah. Adventure had a lot of weird dynamic and animations, like weirdly so almost.
Yeah.
I would like us to see those for Ghost Game. The first one leans on the art a bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tenya Yabuno art and we're doing nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, he
so
co-wrote the song, remember?
I still fucking love that. It was very good. And then because songs, we knew they were going to do this. We just thought it would be earlier. They actually produced the Gamamon drawing song.
That's
The
cute.
the
I
Digimon
didn't get to watch it yet.
the
I just saw
Digimon
the
the
picture.
Digimon yeah,
It's
it's very
very
cute.
cute.
The Digimon classroom team made it again, and we got like an 8-minute behind the scenes. They brought back the bad fake sunglasses, like showing off the source. But it looks like they shoved the Digimon professor into it also this time, because there's definitely a photo of him singing and looking very. It was when I was screen capping these for examples. I mentally went, I have to get a screen cap of him doing it because he looks so uncomfortable while trying his best. He just has this look on his face like, I don't want to be here, but I have to, not in a negative way, but like where he just really does not look comfortable doing this at all and still
It's
trying.
like I did not sign up to sing songs about small dinosaurs.
Exactly. And then the past few weeks, cards have gone completely fucking insane. Like,
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes, they have.
like it's funny. When we were deciding if we were going to do an episode last week, it's like there's not really enough to do one even with cards. And
But
then,
then cards
uh,
exploded.
so
Just vomited everywhere.
so Starter Deck 9 and 10's out this week, so we get the previews a week early as expected. Good card art. Very interesting that there's only one like parallel card reprint in these, where they're 15 of the 16 are new cards. Um, the Amazon bundle exclusive cards look really fucking good. Like, I'm pretty sure multiple people we know are buying them just to get those 2 cards, which makes me feel a little bad about those because they look really good. Um, the clean versions of the first Tamer's Evolution box, the Tamer Battle Pack. Um, were you here when we talked about the promo cards AR, or was that just me and Dev?
I don't remember.
The
I
one,
tend
the
to
one,
tune
I don't
out for
know.
the card
Cards are
sections
kind of a
anyway.
blur to
the
me.
ones where
Yeah.
the ones where I talked about how the U.S. versions that were already given away were just stamped with how well you did.
I
Sounds
think AR
vaguely
might have been
familiar.
here for that.
Okay. Then Ghost Game promo card and the Ghost Game promo pack, which we'd gotten news of it existing before the show started, but not what it was. And then we got preview images of it a few days earlier, where because they didn't show the pack art, people are like, they're giving a full set of these away with every starter deck 11. No, they're not. You have to go to events. And I actually like all these cards, to be honest. The Ghost Game promo pack cards have really clean and nice artwork. Everyone's very expressive. Although it feels like the one for Jellymon is not helping with the "so is she just Nagatoro" jokes.
She absolutely is.
Yeah,
I
like
can't wait for this.
like at this point, I will almost be disappointed if she has a different personality in the show, because they've kept her so long. You can almost build up what you expect to happen.
I mean,
They've also
even just looking
established.
at the profile, it's just like this Digimon's an asshole.
Yeah, they've also established Kirishiro to a point where you want her to antagonize the hell
Yes.
out of him.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to
Like
see her
you,
introduced, because it's
yeah,
strange for us to have ideas in our head of how a Digimon personality is going to be. That's
make
not
his life miserable,
yeah,
Jellymon.
yeah. And then where they really went nuts was the Booster Set 8 previews, which they started before they finished up the previews for the starter decks. So from Card Battle, we had Zukaumon and a preview of the packaging, which, man, you gotta love that them putting up. They're like, it's 02 themed, and also there'll be some Ghost Game with the little Gamamon in the corner. It's just it. Gamamon does not look like he belongs there at all, but they need to make sure he's there. Magnamon art looks fucking amazing. I mean, it always,
Imperial.
yeah, it felt like that was gonna be one of the fancy ones. Fighter mode with the Dice Game 10 card, and they're double references that are tied into each other, which I fucking love. Fighter mode appears to be in the same city block where he first evolved in the show, and they're wearing their winter gear from that story arc. I fucking love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
I
when
still
it's
want that sweater.
That's Ken's only decent clothing outfit in this entire run.
um, and then the Wholesomon and Shurimon cards, those both look fucking amazing, I have to say. Like, insanely so.
I'm so glad we're back to like the nice sexy art instead of the
Oh,
clip art
our
over
And
national
then
nightmare is over.
and
Now
then
we just have to deal with the non-gradient colors on the bottom.
Gurimon and Hawkmon. The Hawkmon by Kenshi Watanabe doing like the upside down ninja throw. I fucking love that card so much. Then we get Sylphimon and Top Gun. I love them showing it in the middle of the evolution. They've been very good planning out references, but man, that's one of those cards where you're like, oh, the card art's so gorgeous, and then your eye moves down a little. It's like, oh, yeah.
I
Please add a
feel like I
gradient,
need to pull
please.
out my the Sylphimon card I have for comparison.
Does it have a gradient somewhere? Is it possible?
No.
Is it possible Bandai doesn't know what gradients are?
Well, no, I'm not talking about the grade. I'm just
No,
talking about the
yeah, I know.
art. But I'm saying no. What they did is they just have it. I think it was red, and they just said also works with yellow.
Yeah,
They don't.
yeah.
It's a lot less visual.
I still think at some point they need to put symbols on there for people who have colorblind issues.
I
Maybe do
haven't
something
run
about
into.
that for
I do
players.
have colorblind issues, and I haven't run into any problems yet.
I actually think Jeff has had issues. I think
Oh, okay.
because that's where I remember. I think that he's who I first heard it from, where he commented that I think it was black and purple. I think looked the same to him,
Oh, that I could see. I could see that being
and
an
it's
issue.
like
I don't think I have any purple cards yet.
yeah, and it's like the franchise has so many symbol groups that it's not would not be that hard to just come up with something. Like
Right.
just put press symbols at the bottom right or something that makes it easy to deal with for people, and that's all you need to do. So the Gamamon card looks great. Am I wrong, or does this hero card not look as nice as the one in the promo pack? There's something like weird about this one to me. The one that is actually part of Booster Set 8. I think it's like the head proportions off or something. Something's going on here that bothers me, and I don't know what.
Oh, I see it because the way that his coat looks behind the
Yeah,
text, it looks like his torso is really, really short,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
very
just the way his
strange.
coat is cut.
Yeah, and then Betel Gamamon gets one of the greatest card arts of all time from Kenji Watanabe, like the kind of pseudo surfing on fire dive kick. Uh, really fucking great looking card. I like really love that one. Hookmon looks great. I like how Hookmon's in the middle of a battle and you can see the treasure chest with Octomon and everything. And is this
Just really good background
yeah?
details.
And then the most up-to-date preview is Catch Mamemon, which this is one where it appears to have good art, but so much of it's covered by that text, it makes it a bit hard to look at. Because it looks like he's rescuing a bunch of Mamemon type Digimon.
Yeah, because it's like I see Mamimon and looks like Thunderballmon is kind of hard to
Yeah,
tell.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then to deal with all the tournament events they've canceled in Japan, they've done the Card Game Challenge Cup they've announced. where it's the Koromon, Greymon, and War Greymon cards. They basically setting up a tournament event to run over 30 stores, and it felt like they had to do something considering how many events they'd canceled that had exclusive cards. These were the ones that I believe were going to be the cards from the team event, where you're going to have people in teams matching up, and instead they're using them here. So, makes sense. Then for the English card game, we have partial packaging for. I love when we get the partial packaging every time, where we get the design but not see the Digimon because they're soliciting stuff so early that by the time they solicit it, and often when we get it, that it's not there. So it's just the box. Online lobby signups are, I think signups closed today, and the event's in 2 days because they're testing the online lobby for the US, and everyone gets a Pulsemon card. Remember Pulsemon? He was something that existed for a while.
Yellow Sonic.
Dreamers.
Pulsemon has mostly been replaced by Gamamon at this point.
Yeah,
Mostly.
that's definitely one of those Simpsons push the less cute sheep aside.
Yeah. And then, because a good joke always deserves a second try, they announced the Digimon card game Digi Showdown tournament event. Now, the reason why this is funny is not only was the last tournament event they did completely fucked up and broken to the point that they just stopped doing it, and I was able to find my article about it. The videos are just gone. It was called Digi Showdown. It's the same fucking name. Although there are clearly rules in place this time that are meant specifically to deal with things that we commented on, which I love. So,
like having to have their entire playmat completely blurred out.
yes, that's actually in the rules this time. You have to use an official playmat if you're using a playmat.
Oh, that's great.
It was sleeves, playmats, and memory gauges must either be official Bandai products or plain colors. These items will be provided to competitors if they are not available. There are.
They get a free mat.
Yeah, it specifically says the matches will be played using Discord, which may have been part of the video issue last time. Was I think they were just doing stuff on how Bandai was just doing something centrally.
Oh.
It's hard to tell because they killed everything before we were able to figure anything out. It's 6 months later and they're using the same fucking name. That's a bad idea. Just like bad juju.
It's also, well, I mean, in the sense of pretending the first one never happened.
Yeah. To be fair, that's smart because that was. There's a lot of times when we can debate if something is good or bad, or we can go, it's not for us, but I can understand how people like it. That was a clusterfuck.
That was
in every
just
way.
a hot mess.
Yeah, that was functionally broken. So the way they're doing it this time is they've already done the preliminaries to decide. We can't decide if it's one champion or two. I'm going to assume one at this point, and they will be in a pool against 5 challengers. They get $1,000 each time they win against a challenger. Challenger gets $1,000 each time they win. If every challenger wins, the challengers each double their prize to $2,000. The champion gets an extra $1,000 if they do 4 of the 5. They get double if they do all 5. And they will stream this in February and March. And someone mentioned something to me earlier, which just came to mind, and I need to check because I believe there was something in here that might make it functionally broken again. So I need to check. I'm actually pulling up the application page because someone mentioned something. Give me a minute because this is one of those
riveting
like
investigative work during the podcast.
Yeah, this is one of those weird things where if it does come up, oh shit! Oh no! Okay, so You have to
Are you
include
gonna break Digi Showdown again before it starts?
You have to include cards from booster set 7 in your deck.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Booster set 6 isn't out yet because shipping delays. Booster set 7. 1 second. I think when is booster set 7 scheduled? Booster set 7 is currently scheduled, if there's no delays, for January 28th.
So basically, they have like
For a turn.
a
So
week.
So the app, but that means you can't even practice or make a deck. You can't, because here's the thing: if the deck's not out yet, they're not going to set up any, errata or changes until it's close to the actual release date. So you can make the deck figuring it out by what's in the Japanese one, but those specific rules often aren't made until the English version's about out.
They should just
Yeah.
mail everybody one of the Frontier Kids and say, "Here you go."
Whoa, okay, there's some weird rules on this one. Okay, just for a handful, um, at, so booster set 7, they will provide the hell? Oh, this is stupid. Oh no. Okay, they've decided how to deal with the booster set 7 thing. A list of cards from booster set 7 will be provided from which you will be able to rent cards free of charge. Rented cards cannot be used in any tournaments besides the Digi Showdown. After the tournament, you have to return the cards as quickly as possible.
Well,
You
that'll
have
go well.
you have to request cards from them that have to be used in your deck. But are you ready for the cards that you cannot use? Because there's a list. So I'm gonna go to B. I'm gonna go to B and C first because A is hilarious. B is restricted cards, which that makes sense. If a card's been restricted for a tournament, you can't use it. C
Sure.
is Japanese cards, which makes sense. They've said they were going to do that. A is Digimon cards that were distributed at separate Digimon card tournaments or other limited edition cards not normally used.
That's
But those are
dumb
all
as shit.
those are all parallel cards or promo cards at
Yeah.
this point. But like some of those promo cards would be deck cards. Like if someone has that Pulsemon card, they can't use it. That means because that's a promo card. Or because that's a freely given away promo card, are you? That's stupid as hell. Oh God, this is already clusterfuck. So let's move on from that before we'll see if they clean that up.
It only affects the participants. Once they sort through all that mess and actually get to playing,
It will
still
hopefully be watchable this time.
hope.
I have very low hopes.
Yeah, so do I. So
But if you're participating, you're screwed. Good luck.
Yes, I hope that when you request the booster set 7 cards for them to send you because they will not be out, that you get the ones you requested. I am confused by that one. Because can you request 4 cards of like I'm curious to see the list of rules of how that works because that's fucking weird to me.
It's just going to be a sealed tournament by the end of it, isn't it?
Why not just make it booster set 6?
Because they supposedly wanted to make money by forcing people to buy booster set 7.
But no, the page went up at the same time though, as far as I know, meaning they put the page up with the booster set 7 and here's how you'll get the cards. This has only been up for a couple days. They can't have already revised that in. That's just part of the rules is you have to use booster set 7, but also we'll mail you the cards and you have to mail. Oh, fuck. Okay, so
let's talk about Fun Digica.
Yeah, 2 episodes of Fun Digica have gone up. One explaining Jogress because that showed up in the starter deck for the first time, I believe. And they also did a match with the starter decks. And unfortunately, Digimon Card Battle did not have any cameos in the last couple episodes, but they did continue the tournament, which looks very nice. We'll get a cameo again soon.
I feel better already.
Just getting away from that hell.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the funny part is we all went, oh, how can it get worse? And then I'm like, oh, wait, I need to check this. booster set 7. It's like, okay, that's stupid.
You
And that's like,
found a way.
and then you can request cards that they will mail you, and then you have to mail them back. Just
The sad thing is I'm not convinced that's worse. For the
a
players, yes.
yeah. Okay.
But
And then Bandai likes to put up a display at their head office of whatever's new, and the Ghost Game display is very nice, I have to say. We get the Gamamon suit, we get card previews. I like the big card placards; those work a lot better than the Digivice V1, for me at least. And we saw those cards, so not much to say about those. But I like the big Gamamon suit being there and everything.
I want it.
Yeah. And then, hey, remember the Tamers 20th celebration products? Anyone can buy them now. Oh, come on, AR. These
Yay!
were the good ones. You like these ones. That's where
oh yeah, these were good.
that's where it's the same poses as the graph art stuff, but done in the show style.
Yeah, these were okay.
Yeah.
If I can, I might try to talk myself into putting enough stuff together to justify an order.
You gonna buy that horrible smartphone stand?
Nope, that's not the one.
Okay, don't say what you're gonna get. I want to try to guess. Looking seriously, I want to say it's either the acrylic stand or the keychains.
Yeah,
And maybe the frame for the keychains. I don't know why I think that seems neat.
Yeah,
It's
I wouldn't
cute.
do the frame because I have a big bulletin board that kind of covers
okay,
that.
yeah, that's true. So it's
But
the
the
stands.
acrylics are tempting, and maybe a keychain. We'll see.
Are you gonna buy the Impmon one just so you can say Impmon stole 2 cakes?
Oh God, I should.
You're gonna buy that just to make that joke with a photo. I can tell. I can feel it.
Well,
And
if
then
Impmon wins the life-size plush vote, you can
Oh
bake 2
yeah.
cakes.
and then we have more Tamer stuff. They're resuming the karaoke collaboration. We have nothing to say about
Yay!
that
Yay.
because all the details are the same, except it restarts October 27th, runs through November 28th, and none of us are clearly going to it. So,
No.
and then in the middle of the night, they announced a new pop-up shop with very weird Christmas art. I like the art, but it's very strange. So here's the thing: the Digimon Tamers 20th anniversary Oi Oi pop-up shop. I'm sure there's a better way to say
Oi,
that, but I'm
oi.
going with Oi Oi.
I think that's it. I think
Okay.
it's oi oi.
Okay. It will be at 5 locations at different times. So let's go over this art. So first off, Terriermon's perfect. Anyone who insults that Terriermon art gets punched.
Naturally.
The Gilmon art is cute, but a bit odd because, like, for some reason, Gilmon trying to hold a lollipop as an actual lollipop seems fucking weird with the way his hands
Yeah.
work. Renamon is with a drink and she doesn't know why she's there. Rookie has presence and a smile and feels like
and
her
is,
art belongs somewhere else. Then
yeah, and wearing shorts in the winter is an interesting choice.
with a heavy sweater, we have to say. Like that's clearly like
With
a
also
big
like
sweater.
some
And
neon
then
thing
and
attached to
then
her head, just like
and then,
pasted on.
yes, and then let's talk about Takato. There's something very courageous about wearing a candy cane suit like that, and it does not fucking work.
He's dressing himself for the first time.
Here's the problem. Look at that body, look at that head, and tell me they did not draw another character and just paste Takato's head to it.
Absolutely. It's just.
And then we have to talk about the most important one. Actually, Dev, you're about to say something, I think.
It's horrible.
Yeah. What the fuck is up with Genria's pants?
Jen.
He looks like he shopped at Hot Topic.
He's gone to plaid.
Did you read the article? I mentioned, look at the bottom of the article. I could not let the pants go. At the bottom of the article, I just wrote, credit to Genria for trying to pull off those pants. So when the shop begins in early November, do you think anyone else will get art, or do you think it's just these 6?
They'll probably have
Oh,
like
I
Itmon and
hope
Kulamon.
everyone gets art, and I hope it's all just as horrible.
Okay, we have to play the odds. Let's assume everyone gets art.
I want Hirokazu covered in argyle. I don't care anymore.
Okay, let's assume everyone gets art. Is Leomon just gonna be 100% normal Leomon art with a Santa hat?
If Leomon's lucky, he'll be
What-
dead.
To be fair, Renamon looks like he might be contemplating killing someone.
Renamon's thinking about it.
Renamon really does not look. Renamon really has the image of someone who does not want to fucking be there at all.
At least she doesn't have like a antlers and like a red nose stuck
It
on.
feels like they
Yeah, no, they're
wanted.
gonna do that for Gardramon.
Someone needs
Or
a
even better,
scarf.
Cyberdramon.
Marine
Marine
Angemon's gonna have a
Angemon
scarf.
gets a scarf.
Yes.
That completely covers him up and you can't see him.
What if they just stuck Marine Angemon
Oh,
on
no!
the top of a tree?
No, you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be Impmon will have a scarf, and he'll have like
Is he gonna set it on fire?
No, he'll have like the Sundara face where he looks like all fake upset that he has a scarf. I don't want to be at a Christmas party anyways.
What are they doing for Kulumon?
Kulumon feels like he'd be eating cake or something. Man,
Kulumon's just gonna be sleeping in the punch bowl.
You know what the problem is? Whatever they come up with will not be as good as what we've come up with.
I mean, good is the define good in this context.
Good is in entertaining.
They have a very.
Here's the issue with the art.
They've set the standard.
So here's the main issue. Something looks wrong with this art compared to, say, the party art. Like, something's off here, and I don't. There's a copy paste thing going on here.
Yeah. It's just copy paste. Like the heads don't look like they went on that art.
Yeah.
At all.
The only one
they got the Koshiro's dressing program or something.
The only one of these 6 that is perfect is Terriermon.
Yeah.
And then
no complaints with Terriermon.
Hey, look, adventure stuff. I actually have to say this 100% is not anything I would get. I actually think these look nice. The earrings and necklaces, they're oddly designed well in a way that like minimizes uses open space. I actually like the design, to be honest.
I would really want one of the Digivices.
Those look especially good. People seem very upset about the crests being sold singularly.
Well, that way you can have like one in one ear and one in the other.
That's what I thought the point was, because people are like, well, no, they're ripping you off. It's like, if they put 2 of them, they just be double the price. They're not like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can pick and choose which ones you want.
That's what I thought the intent was.
Pick your favorite ship, and there you go.
And
don't tell me no one's gonna do that.
So none of this art is new, but it's not art we've seen a lot of. I know we've seen this stuff before. I just don't remember where. I think some of it was from that U.S. calendar a year or so ago.
Oh, jeez.
That's buried somewhere in my room.
Like that fucking horrible smile they give Sora, where it's just colored pink and it's not clear like what they.
Oh yeah, that half smirk kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why we put up with that weird Tamers art, because it's at least that's different.
This is different though. This isn't art that we've seen a lot of. Like the slightly weird chunky Gomamon.
He's gonna bitch slap you.
Well, he's gonna do that anyway. So the pre-orders are open for these through November 14th. I believe none of the places doing them take direct orders from outside Japan, because Amazon Japan, I believe, is being sold directly by the company. So good luck with intermediaries if you want them. It feels like these are going to be imported a lot more than we think. It feels like. I think partially because the designs are actually kind of nice. And then the most important thing. Figures of little seen characters, Greymon and Metal Greymon.
Yes.
Oh, it's nice to finally get those guys some attention.
Yes. See, and you wonder why I make that joke with Omegamon and others so often. It works every fucking time. So Dynamotion, the new figure line, these are PVC soft vinyl figures. They start with the Bandai profile art as a starting point, but kind of go off it a bit. Uh, Greymon and Metal Greymon are the first ones.
I
These
like
look,
the size of them.
yeah, they're that about 5.5 inches tall for Greymon, about 6.5 for Metal Greymon. That counts the wings though, so you have to math that. So I think Metal Greymon's like 4.5 inches tall, maybe, if you ignore the wings. I think so. These look really nice. The prices are a little high, but based on the quality, might be worth it. I'm very tempted to get these, to be honest.
I mean, consider comparing the price of like the little gotcha ones, which are a lot smaller and about like 12 or 15 each.
Well,
Yeah, this is pretty
wait,
reasonable.
you're talking about the old gotcha
the
figures
ones that
were
are based.
Dev. I think you got cut off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you.
Yes. The little ones that are based on the VPET
Those were.
original
I don't
figures.
think those were 12. Those were like $6 each or something. I think.
I think they're like 8 or 12 when
The
I
cat.
found them.
Well, yeah, but yeah, that's after importing and stuff, though. The capsule mascots. That's what they were called.
Yeah, because they're only about like what, an inch and a half tall, so this is
Yeah.
like 5 times the size. So price scales pretty decently.
Yeah, you're right. I'm very curious to see these side by side with the nicer capsule mascot ones, the ones they did from Premium Bandai. So it would be interesting to see that. A lot of potential with these. It feels like it's funny to see everyone falling into the same hole of why are they doing Greymon and Metal Greymon? Because
Because it's
Exactly.
funny.
Greymon and Metal Greymon have to set up the success of the line so you can get weird choices. And then they will do an Alphamon transformer that no one wants. So so these are out November 27th. I like that it is a line where the prices can be different. So they can do a Metal Greymon that's very slightly nicer and then just charge a bit more for it. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. And I would also like the name next time to make more sense. The most dynamic of
Yeah.
motions for a figure that, like, I get what they mean. They mean the most dynamic of poses, but yeah,
Yeah, but yeah.
yeah, that's not what that is. And then Vital Bracelet stuff. So, Premium Bandai USA has put up a few different bundle things, which easier at this point. It's easy if you can't deal with, Japanese companies or intermediaries. So, first off, we have the um, Digivice V and Ghost Game DIMs. Those are the ones where really you don't need Premium Bandai for them. Because those you can just, as long as you can order from a company overseas, these are very easy to deal with. They're cheap. They're actually cheaper just to import on your own. But this is easier though. Digivice V with the Gamamon DIM for 65, a set with Gamamon and the other two unreleased ones, which will be out in January, I believe. Yeah, January for 35. The prices are pretty good. And a nice translated version of that Vital Bracelet feature list. I really want to see someone stick in one of the Common Rider ones to see what happens. Because they don't say it won't work. They just say there might be issue. They're not locking it out, but we'll see. Then the set that actually does matter in a few different ways. A set with Mad Black Roar, True Shadow Hal, and the dim card holder with Dynasty of the Evil for
Yes.
$40. And this one's notable for a couple reasons. One, Premium Bandai Japan only products for the one set, and you can't order those anymore. So this is the only way to get them without dealing with scalpers or buying them off a friend. So if you want those, 100% buy it and just sell the holster if you don't need it. You will not. You alive, Dev?
Yep.
Wanted to make sure. So this is effectively the last chance to be sure you can get these at a good price. If you want them, buy them. And then you have a little Wizardmon on the side. And then let's jump to V-Jump first, where they showed off the various requirements for evolution to various Gamamon forms. Those Gamamon sprites are all kind of glorious, aren't they? And we get the nice Millenniumon Raid Boss. I'm sure he'll win, as he does. He's gonna get beat up by Omegamon and a single Gamamon.
He
The
tried
Gamamon
so
will do
hard.
most of the work.
Yes, he will. Millenniumon's a bitch.
All they have to do is put like a label on Millennium that says actually made of chocolate.
And then, oh, guys, Gym Card EX2 is back.
With like next to no changes.
Which I think we all called, didn't we? That there'd be like a couple token changes. So, okay, there are some positives. So let's start there first. One, it's no longer a set, they're separate, and the cost was split into thirds. So they're not, ramming anyone for extra money. They will be sold as general release items also. I don't think,
Okay, that's good.
here, that's nice for those who are going to import, but for as far as getting it, I don't think that matters in the sense of if someone wanted these, they were going to be able to get them. They've slightly changed the design of the frame, very slightly. And then let's look at the Digimon lineup. So let's start with our good friend Guilmon. Instead of Medieval Dukemon, you get Dukemon X, which that's a more standard choice, but I think Medieval Dukemon was more interesting choice. They very clearly removed him because I believe he's one of the ones you can get on the GP, isn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was one of the three there. And then they revealed the final Guilmon one as Crimson Mode, shocking us all, I'm sure.
How about that?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Renamon has replaced Kuzuhamon with Parisamon, which makes perfect sense. And they left Miko mode there for Kuzuhamon, so you still get a version of her. And again, shocking us all, Sakuyamon X is the last one. And Terramon gets nothing different. Rapidmon Armor's the last slot, which not that shocking, but yeah. Pre-orders open in a few days, and they will be released February 19th. They waited a very long time to make obvious token changes, which I think we all said they were going to change one thing on the two. I think that was you who first said that, AR. That they would make the most minimal change possible and then make a huge deal out of it.
She's got a new hat.
The new hat is a purple spider monster.
I mean, they know us.
Yeah. And then Digimon Profile, they went over Food Digimon, which I love that artwork, and they went over a lot of interesting
so
stuff.
So random, it's great.
Yeah. Especially
yeah,
love the artwork. I like how they clarify differences like, oh, there's Food Digimon, then there's Digimon that give food, some that look like food. And then poll results, which it feels like everything here is obvious, but it feels like most of these were not ones that people guessed for the poll results.
I don't remember how we broke these down.
And
if we said anything other than Devimon, I think we should be like.
Well, I believe the main thing we pointed out was that considering he was there a week late, would there be enough energy to get a Batomon core to the top?
Yeah, that was the question, and that was enough to get it pretty darn close.
Yeah, and they even point out that the difference between them was really small. Like the percentage actually shows is the same.
Yeah, that's
Um,
functionally a win.
and then effectively the top 9 are all just major villains from the show.
Yeah.
And I would,
Yeah,
so some of these I would not have guessed to go so high because some of them were not interesting, but that also tells us how often it can be to kind of lose sight of going, oh, that episode wasn't good, but people are still gonna
the
love that fucking character.
yeah, the episode wasn't good, but Nidogman was still visually sort of impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
that
based on, like, obviously based on Godzilla, and every
yeah,
child is hard gay for Godzilla because
Well,
Godzilla's the best.
and then the highest non-important villain is the most important villain, Bancho Mamemon.
yeah, yeah.
And then we have to wonder what
That
happened
became
with
a sentimental favorite.
the 3 at the bottom. They don't actually clarify if just the votes were low, so they're counting it as nothing, or if they actually got no votes at all. Scorpiomon, Mamamon, and Crossmon.
I'm kind of surprised Crossmon got nothing,
Crossmon,
considering.
Crossmon, I feel like gets the damage from everyone goes, that's a great War Greymon episode. He blew that guy up.
Yeah,
And
but that's what I mean. It's like it was the first War Greymon episode, so I was hoping that was well.
I would
I
have
don't really,
guessed
I don't care, but
that would have been at
like
least
I'm
above
surprised it didn't get
Tankdron.
at least a little bit of momentum from that.
yeah, that's why I'm curious to know if those actually got no votes or if they're just low enough that they're not counting them. And then with the new poll, oh man, it's funny. We've made the joke before, but they really have given up on doing any like interesting polls because
Mm,
they don't want to deal
Yeah.
with people. Which Ghost Game Digimon do you want to see in action?
we've
Gamamon,
already
Angormon, or Jellymon?
we've already seen 2 of them.
To be
I
fair,
guess Jellymon wins by default.
to be fair, at this point, it was only Gamamon had been seen when they put it up. And let's go ahead and guess the rankings. I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh,
guess Gamamon, Jellymon, and Goremon.
yeah, I think Gamamon's still gonna win.
Gamamon's gonna win.
Yeah.
Jellymon is baby.
Jellymon will be second because people are interested in seeing what's up with that character. And
Yeah,
Goremon's the wild card because he's considered very cute. So I think he's
yeah,
a wild card that could potentially end up anywhere, but I expect
yeah.
Gamamon first.
I just went and voted for Jellymon, so.
I already voted for Jellymon, but I can see people voting for Angoromon because they just want to see Totoro kill someone.
And then we have the plush vote results. So we should probably point out that as far as we know, they weren't counting any character that you could like buy recently, because that would completely skew 90% of these.
Yeah, because some of them already have
Yeah.
literally life-size plush.
Yeah. Like a lot of people want to know, well, wouldn't Lopmon or Terramon probably be number 1 for Tamers? Those
They
are
already
actually
have them.
Yeah, they've
life-size
yeah.
ones are actually on shelves right now. The
Yeah.
cushions, I believe, are life-size.
I'm surprised they let
Yeah.
Patamon through.
Well, so we'll get to that's one that a lot of people complain about, and there's actually an easy explanation for that. But let's go over them. Adventures Gomamon, which makes sense out of ones who haven't
Okay,
gotten life size
sure.
recently. Because
Yeah,
if you
that
think
would
about
work.
it, Agumon and Gabumon have, Patamon has,
Mhm.
Tailmon has.
Tailmon has.
To hell
Yeah,
with the other ones.
you're running
Gomamon.
out. You're running out of choices for ones who could actually win a vote.
Yeah.
002 Chibimon one.
Well,
So,
I mean, I think some of the other ones could win votes, but
but
would
no,
they be in as
I
high
mean,
demand as the rest
yeah.
of them?
So Chibimon actually got a life size plush 20 years ago, and it's been like a really beloved plush among people who have seen it. So that one actually doesn't
Okay.
shock me. The top vote getter for Tamers was Gilmon, and they decided they couldn't reasonably do it. Like they talked to manufacturers. They decided a good life size Gilmon was not going to come out a way people would be happy with.
It's like,
So
this is gonna be $800. I'm sorry.
Careful what you wish for.
So Impmon as number 2 was shoved in. So Frontier is one that people are getting upset about, and here's what I would. Frontier is Patamon with his belly warmer.
You know,
And
back to Tamers for a second. You
Go ahead.
know, if it wasn't if it wasn't Impmon, the one I probably would have wanted to seen, even though by the rules it wouldn't be eligible, was Marine Angemon.
Mm,
Would not have been allowed because
what?
it's an ultimate, but
Well, it's very,
Oh,
very, very tiny.
they
it is
did
tiny.
say it had to be that level, didn't they?
It
That
had to
level or
be
below. It,
a
that
baby or child, yeah.
yes, I actually forgot about that, which is funny because does that level actually exist for Atmon?
Standard.
Yeah,
I'd apply
yeah.
standard
Okay,
to
so let
it's close
no,
enough.
yeah. So let's go to Frontier. A lot of people were very confused by Patamon winning. So first thing I would say is, and I've said
Who
this to
else
a
is
few,
You
yeah,
only have 3 choices,
yeah,
Yeah, you
really.
have three choices.
yeah, it was basic. The answer I gave to multiple people is one, everyone who's complaining about it comes up with the same answer. Well, Chalkmon. Chalkmon isn't that well known.
No.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's effectively three. There is effectively, as I think it was Dev who said, three choices: Chalkmon, Patamon, Bokomon. Namon's too
Well,
big.
Also,
no, actually,
also
Namon's about
Chalkmon
the
is
same size. He's
He's
yeah,
only
kind
like
of
3 feet.
tall though.
Chalkmon and Chalkmon is technically an evolved form, sort of.
I feel like that's
Like I
but
would
that's one that could screw up the votes. I feel like that's one that would be loopholed in
oh,
like
it
the Atmon
definitely
stuff though.
could, but I would not
Yeah.
count Chalkmon as being a child level.
Yeah, you're actually right. It's childish, but it's not the level. You're
Uh-huh.
completely right. So
Yeah.
Patamon being the choice, it's not one that I would have thought of. It doesn't shock me seeing it though. Like it makes perfect sense.
I
Say
mean, Lucamon would have been cool looking, but
Oh, Lucamon would have been so
yeah,
much fun, but no.
yeah,
have you
That
tried
would
to
be
make plush
really
wings? Dear
that's
that
God.
not
would
how.
be really creepy.
Favors is Lalamon. Is Lalamon the winner? Like loophole? Like how many Digimon could you actually do a life size of from Savers where they're generally larger?
You could do Gaomon.
True.
If
I
you're
feel like
allowing Shoutmon in this, you can allow Gaomon.
true. Shoutmon,
But also, Lalamon would be like a really good size and shape to just
yeah,
hug or throw at people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shoutmon.
yes.
I would like to
I'm
see.
surprised.
Shoutmon feels too
I'm
big, doesn't
surprised
it?
they let Shoutmon through. He does feel
Not
too big.
really.
You know what I
He's
need
like
to
about like 3 feet ish.
Yeah, that's
Shoutmon
pretty
Cross
darn
Wars.
big.
I want to find a picture of him next to Taiki because Taiki's supposed to be like 4 feet tall, I think.
I always figured
Yeah,
he was
Shoutmon
5.
goes more than halfway up.
So I think Shoutmon's meant to be like 1.75 or so, which isn't that much larger than everyone else. It's just he
Well,
for
that
some
like a good chunk of him is leg, so
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those where the actual design may make it work.
And it's wouldn't be that much taller than Offmon as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Offmon
And then
is
for
not
Appmon we got
tiny.
Offmon. Go Offmon.
That's a
A
good choice.
I think I think AR was the one who called Offmon as the obvious choice for Appmon, I think.
Yeah, also because Gatchmon does have
Yeah.
plushes out.
And then from the
And it
other
was gonna be one of those two.
and then from the other section we get Dorumon, which people had questions about this one also.
I think we called that one too,
Yeah.
actually.
So
yes, I absolutely did.
oh no, you absolutely did. I think Dorumon, I think the way you do it, because my concern was the size, I think you make it the size of the Rear Eyes one and say Dorumon. Because the
Yeah,
Rear Eyes
because
one, as I
even in
recall, is
X
quite a bit
Evolution,
smaller.
he's not that big. Because comparing it to like Tokomon, it's not that big.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and look at and the votes are open until the end of October. Let's go to the current vote chart. Ipmon's in the lead with 199. Dorumon has 160. Chibimon has 116. Gomamon has 115. Good for Gomamon. I'm very disappointed in the Appmon fans. Offmon only has
Yeah.
89. I
Well, also
honestly
remember they have to have them they have to be signed into
I
this
know.
partner site.
But like honestly, I never expected Offmon to win. I thought Offmon would place like top 3 just to have Appmon fans go, "Hey, we placed."
Yeah, if
Shoutmon's
this wasn't a login required poll, I think Offmon would be doing better.
yeah, I think we've seen those polls don't work.
No, but
Did they ever
Offmon should be doing better.
specify how many they would be making? Is it like only the
No.
top 1, or is it like
The way they've worded it, it sounds like only one. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was something fucky and they actually do like the top 3 or something.
Because
But
that would make more
Yeah, 'cause
sense.
they
But like in
suggested they're only doing a
yeah, I
plush, but
mean, yeah, 'cause they did. I mean, there was demand for non-adventure Tamers seasons
yeah.
to get that in there. So kind of allowing, only taking the winners
But
of
here's the
those
thing.
does seem a little bit
Except
disingenuous.
here's the thing. This shows why they have to include that as a group where people together wanted stuff passed up. What they mean is someone wanted Frontier, someone wanted Savers. They don't mean that people went, oh, you have to do stuff past those 3 shows. They just mean there was a decent amount combined for those. And if you look at the votes, if we keep going down, so Patamon from Frontier has 23 and Savers, Lalamon has 21. If you look at who the bottom choices are, it's it's Frontier and later, basically. Like
Yeah.
that is the that is the example of why you would not do those. Is if you combine all of those except Offmon, you add up to half of a Gomamon, basically.
Yeah, but it's still, if they're saying that we're listening and we want to do
Yeah.
non-Adventure Tamer stuff, this doesn't
But this
suggest
is
that they're actually going to do non-Adventure Tamer stuff.
yeah, but it also shows that
Oh, I don't.
the-
They don't. They're. I mean, it does seem a little disingenuous because it's like they're
but
trying to say,
see,
"Hey, we're listening and we're gonna
but
we're
why? What?
gonna
That's why we can
give
see
these
the
other
vote.
seasons a chance,"
No,
and then
and
they're
that's
not
my
really
point.
giving these other seasons a
Yeah,
chance.
that's why we can see the votes. The fans got to choose their
Well, there's
representative
also
from those
votes from
seasons,
people.
and I mean,
Again, it's also votes for people who are subscribed to this site.
but that's where they're going to sell it. This isn't going to be a general release item. It's going to be
Yeah.
sold here.
Basically, my point is, I'm saying is that if they put down,
Oh no,
they put down
no.
that-
I get your point. What I'm saying is they've made it so we can see the votes. If fans from
Right,
season X want stuff, they've shown that's why they're showing us the votes. Basically, is to go.
What
Well,
I'm
you didn't
trying
vote
to
for it.
what I'm trying to say is that if they said, that these following things are things that we want to pay attention to and consider doing down the road, and one of those things was stuff beyond Adventure Tamers, they have not done that yet. This does not tick that box.
I think it attempts to tick the box, but also kicks it
No,
back
it
in
does not
everyone's
tick
face.
that box. It does not tick that box at all.
I think it ticks the box because it gives people the chance to show they want it, and everyone went. We want it. Everyone
If they're
said
suggesting that they're listening and they're
but they
thinking
are.
about doing something like that.
But
No, they're not.
no one's asking for it. We can see the numbers. The
Well,
entire
they did ask for it because it's on the list.
No, that's what I'm saying. They went, oh, there were a lot of requests for it. We will give you the chance. They have the chance, and the numbers
That's
are
not a
nothing.
fair chance. What they should do is they should have a poll for all of the
They
take
should.
Gomamon
They
and
should.
take Gomamon and Impmon out of that and have a poll.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Poll between the others.
I'm saying that it was a setup. Is what I'm saying. That those were never going to compete and win.
Right.
That's what I'm saying is
I'm saying that means that if they're committed to releasing stuff beyond
they aren't.
Adventure and Tamers, they need to do that.
They're committed to releasing what will sell, and this is their way of going. We tried. I'm not saying it's them being able to say it that they really tried. I'm saying that it gives them the way to point and go, we tried. I'm not saying that they actually did. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm saying what their response will be if anyone complains is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that stuff shouldn't come out. I'm saying that this is their way to not do it and to point that no one wanted it is what I mean.
Well, some people have. They do have some votes.
Oh, I'm sure the 21 votes for Lala Mod Plush will get Bandai very excited to do more Savers.
That also actually, this poll does tell me how few people are actually on Digimon Partners.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And that's kind of why I've never given a shit one way or the other because it is less fun Twitter, and Twitter's already less fun. And then we have reference book art updates. So we have the Food Digimon, Shortmon, and Weddinmon. These are both from the Crosswords manga, correct? And
Yes,
this is the first like proper full color art we have of them, I believe.
it absolutely is. We basically just only saw them in black and white before.
Yeah. And then nothing new, just better versions. It's weird. We had the art of the three Ghost Game leads, but they all kind of looked ugly in the way they'd been put up. And we have nice ones now.
High res.
And then, because we love photos, they put up the Gamamon plush in the mummy stuff, which was great. Uh, I don't know why I love that photo so much that I had to include it. It just looks really good.
It's an absolute delight.
And then Hiroshi Izawa, who wrote V-Tamer, showed off where he put his poster from Psycho Jump, which, Tenya Yabuno poster, which shows V-Tamer. Also, he put it right on the shelf. I don't like the position of that poster. That thing's going to get ripped. I can tell.
Looks like it's dry mounted.
Well, no, the posters it goes off on either side is what I mean.
Yeah, it looks like the way it's laying it, like they might be like on a very thin piece of board.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. And then we got artwork last week, even with no episode. So first we had Gamamon running with with various Digimon from the first two episodes: Clockmon, Mummymon, the Blacktailmon standing back there.
I
Gamamon
love the kitty.
Gamamon looks very happy to be there. And Tenya Yabuno did a really nice art of Hero and Gamamon. That Gamamon bothers me. That looked like weirdly like human face. Like weirdly so. And then Hiroshizawa told V-Tamer stories about relating to the Obis and other stuff, which I found these super fucking interesting. So he talked about how he got to see our war game at a preview screening, and he was kind of upset because things in the movie were things that he had wanted to do in the manga. As he put it, he was surprised and saddened. Then volume 3. We'll get to volume 3 in a bit because that one has more. Volume 4, it mentions the Tamers movie, and he's like, it has Tamers in the title, like V-Tamer. He wonders if people will read V-Tamer by mistake, thinking it's related. Then the 5th one was a message from Wada Koji, which he pointed out it kind of makes him cry to look at it. And then number 3 was the interesting one because number 3, he mentioned that, at one point they were thinking of having Ray be a tamer who used armor evolution, and the idea sort of vanished with the flow of the story. And then Yabuno responded going, he doesn't remember that ever coming up. He remembers at one point her maybe being a tamer to Gabu. And then Izawa responded, pointing out it was during their meetings in Koenji. Koenji's known for bars and music. He was basically just saying he was drunk and forgot. Um,
I can see that happening.
yeah. So, and then Yabuno responded going, you had it in Koenji. And he goes, I'm not sure. We did. I don't think we had nightly meetings in Koenji until a bit later than that, but we had many meetings. And he finished with a laugh to suggest, which seems to suggest to me that he's saying a bit drunk regardless of where the meetings were.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then he also showed off 7, which had Takuya from Frontier. He actually pointed out that the plot originally involved a plotmon named Putt. The story ended up being long, so he ended up cutting Putt entirely. He wanted to bring plotmon into the story
No.
because it's very cute.
I would have liked to see that.
And then from this week, we got the large version of that chocolate artwork, since that's out. Much more pleasant look to that when it's not so tiny. And then we got various pieces of art from staff who worked on the show. Jubei 9 did 2 pieces of art once again. also did a nice little animation. Celine Cosmos did the one that's the one everyone seems to love with Ruli sleeping on Angoramon.
It's exactly like Totoro.
I think that's where the inspiration for that art's from. And then
Absolutely.
Porky Boy just drew an image of Ruli. Very nice image though. And a few others did it afterwards with some nice little anim. Did you guys see the nice little animated GIF of her riding Angoramon, and on the back, Hero is trying
No.
to ride Gamamon? Go to the thread because
Oh god.
it went up too late for me to keep updating the threads. Really, you know this.
That's adorable.
Yeah, this one was like the last one that ended up being added. But with the GIF where you can see Gamamon desperately trying to hold Hero and it just doesn't work.
Where is that?
I sent you the link.
Hmm.
There's a little GIF, and yeah,
Nope. I'm not seeing that anywhere.
It's like 2 below the Totoro and 1 above the chocolate.
Oh.
yeah, it's a
I
little
thought you
GIF.
said it
It's
was at the end.
oh no, it's at the end of the
Oh,
art section.
jeez. Oh, okay. Yeah, you really hid that.
Well, no,
Just link to the tweet.
that got added.
Ah, jeez.
That
That
got
was
added
not
like in
it.
the middle of Sunday.
Okay, you'll have to show it to me later
Yeah, that
because there's no way I'm finding this.
yeah. There's a reason why I will sometimes call them the weekend junk posts. It's basically anything that realistically did not have a place in the week, plus anything that comes up right then. Eh, Actually, let me find the link for you right now, just so you can see it at least, and
I
I'll
think
throw it in the
wait, I think I
channels,
found it.
and I'll
Okay, I
throw it.
found it. Yeah, that was yeah, just link to the actual tweet next
It will
time.
not.
Jeez, that
That's
took
weird. It
forever.
will not let. Weird. Okay, there
No,
we
it
go. For
loaded.
some,
I
no,
got it.
I was saying in the YouTube chat, it was not letting me link to the tweet at first. It was erroring out. It appears to have worked now. Yeah, very nice little
Okay.
GIF there.
Yep.
The hero and
Okay.
Gamamon's the best part of that, though. I have to be honest, because it's so stupid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where Gamamon's flattened and everything. And then we have questions. So first up, and everyone in the chat, go ahead and throw up your questions, and we'll get to them. Our friend Diego Diego was the one who was asking about the model kits last time, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. He was curious if anything's been said so far about Hero's ear scar, or are they just kind of leaving it to be revealed later in the show. He's hoping it's a failed piercing.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, there's been no mention of it at all. It may just be a character design thing. It may never actually be explained, but we'll see. And Cootie Fox wants to know, do we think the 3 Tamers from Ghost Game will be the only ones, or do we think they'll add 3 or 4 other kids?
Depends on how
Way
long it
too
goes
early
for.
to
Yeah,
say. Yeah,
it's
I think
it
they
feels like
usually
they
do.
would, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then this was a letter. I had to pare this down significantly. Someone was very confused and very much wanted me to answer to explain replicators in Star Trek, and I'll go over it quickly. This was like a letter. So first, someone was asking. They asked about pizza coming up in an episode where someone said part of the pizza could be replicated. That confused them. I actually remember that one. They were referring to it was on Voyager. They were saying you could replicate the cheese to make a fresh pizza rather than making cheese, because Voyager had power issues, so you couldn't replicate. Replication was done with rations there. So he was trying to get pizza without using a ration, basically. And then someone wants to know, why do characters sometimes complain the food tastes off when theoretically wouldn't it be, a copy? And it is a copy. It's a copy of what's programmed. It would sort of be like, AR, do you like tomato soup?
Kind of.
What kind? Campbell's? Just like Campbell's tomato soup?
I like something a little more involved with that, little garlic and stuff in there.
Okay. So your own recipe then?
Well, my wife's.
Okay, your wife's recipe. If someone
Yeah.
else made tomato soup, it might be perfectly good, but it's probably not going to be what you want, right?
No idea. I'm not judging someone else's soup without trying it.
I like how you're purposely giving the answer.
I don't know where you're going with this.
No, what I'm
My
going
only
with is
experience my only experience with Star Trek replicators is at a room party once. There was a Star Trek themed room party at a con I was going to, which is as cool a concept as it sounds, and they had a replicator there, so all I did was reenact the fish scene from Red Dwarf, where Cat would just
that's
press
amazing.
the button and
My,
constantly
my
get more
my my
fish.
point was that it's giving what was programmed. Everyone's always going to have a different taste what they're actually looking for.
Trout a la
Like
creme.
like if someone like if someone says they want, for an example, a cheese pizza. Okay, you can go to Pizza Hut and get a cheese pizza. It's There's a decent chance that's not the cheese pizza someone's looking for though. Someone's generally looking for a specific thing.
You're getting a cheese pizza. This may not be the cheese pizza
Yeah.
specifically
That
catered to your
yes.
interests.
That's why there's some
Yeah.
episodes where, for example, Riker
You
mentions
don't have to overcomplicate this with analogies and stuff.
Yes, I do. Because characters have actually there are episodes where
There,
characters actually have programmed in the specific version of a dish they want.
well, good for them.
Yes, and that's what I mean is you can program in exactly what you want, but it even came up someone making Thanksgiving dinner from scratch. It's gonna taste much. It's
Wow.
gonna probably taste more specific than someone just ordering turkey
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
know it's being made for them and so forth. That's what I mean. Is it's going to taste exactly like what was programmed every time. If someone probably they're going to remember a taste of a tomato that they grew rather than just ordering tomato slices. Is what I mean. Everything else from the question basically boils down to that. So yeah, let's see. Matthias wants to know: do we think we'll get a plot after Shiro's introduction?
Don't know yet. That might still be too early.
It feels like we have to at some point.
At some point, yes, we have to.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I think there will be at what point we have to, and the point like 4 or 5 episodes beyond that in which they will. I'm getting that sort of sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
I'm getting a real early Savers vibe here, which concerns me a bit.
And then the next one is for Dev. Dev, what is the most ornate costume or plush you've made?
Probably the Arrow Vidramon plushie, but I can't get a picture of it because it looks like someone hacked my DeviantArt account and deleted it.
I'll use my imagination. That's pretty impressive.
I'm imagining like a oddly large wingspan.
It was a pain in the ass.
I can imagine. And then someone wants to know if Omegamon Alter B and Alter S aren't stronger than Omegamon and Zwart. Why does the one get stronger in the game when it becomes Alter B? I assume they're talking about next order there with Defeat. Defeat was like dying basically, wasn't
Hold
he?
on, did we get a next order question?
I assume
Wow.
that I considering they reference Omegamon B, that has to be next order, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Defeat was like the entire thing with Defeat was I believe he was like hurt and like fucked up. Him becoming Ultra B was like repairing and upgrading him, someone who's dying basically.
Just taking a snapshot at the time we got an next order question. Go on.
And one sec, I share that in the chat because Dev found her plush.
Oh yeah.
I pulled one up on my computer.
What I like is that it's distinctly zero. It's not like your
Yes.
token Arrow Vidramon, it's actually Zeromaru.
Yes.
I spent months making that for my partner.
It looks nice. But
And then I
yes.
packed it in a Victoria's Secret bag and made him open it in front of his mother.
But yeah, Defeat, especially when you get into ultimate forms and changing to other ultimate forms, it's kind of plot necessity. So you have a Zwart who's damaged but who's still just as strong, evolve into Ultra B, who's still just as strong, but plot-wise, he's stronger. I don't think there's much else to say about that one, is there?
Plot's always a good reason to do things.
Yes. I believe that is it for questions. AR, where can they find you? Have you been up to for the last 3 weeks?
So I'm on Twitter at First Agent ARP. I'm gonna start plugging my Tumblr now because that seems to be where the action is. It's firstagent.tumblr.com, and I've been answering a lot of questions about Frontier for some reason. I do not understand why, but if you have any questions, Frontier or otherwise, feel free to use my Ask box.
Dev, what beloved Wikimon article would you like people to read this week?
Go look at Offmon. I really don't care.
Aww.
Look at
Cute
the
little,
plush that you're not going to be getting.
yeah,
Yeah, look at the plushie. You miss your chance to get.
yeah. Oh, and they're gonna hold that over fans' head for a while. I'm quite sure.
At least it's beating Lalamon.
To be fair, it would be hard not to beat Lalamon. Patamon's beating Lalamon, and I don't think anyone who wants a Frontier plush really wants Patamon. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but Patamon Frontier kind of got screwed in this one because the sizes don't work out well for Frontier.
Yeah, Frontier's kind of hosed in this.
Yeah. Because
At least
logically,
I'm surprised that there's a bit of restraint there because it really is just Patamon with a belt, and there's enough people who just want Patamon for the hell of it. They don't
but
care what SCO it's
see,
from.
see that's the thing though. Is if they want that, I think it's so easy they can just go, "Oh, Patamon." That exists. They can stumble upon that just
Yeah.
looking.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think that's what's
For
happening
sure.
there. But yeah, and I
Doesn't
can
stop
be
them from being greedy in a vote though.
see. I think there's enough interesting choices here. Is that generally I think you would actually pick something interesting. Although to be
You'd
fair,
hope.
Ipmon's winning, and Ipmon kind of isn't interesting as far as Tamers choices go.
Yeah,
It,
and
it
there was a smaller Impmon plushie that came out last year. I think it was
yeah,
last year.
but that was a little beanbag one. There's something significantly different
Yeah,
about getting a large one.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I will say this: if
Would
the
it
win,
stand on its own though?
I feel like they do the sitting up
Mm.
pose.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like
cowards.
I feel like none of them are really going to be stand up plushies.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, Gomamon, you could probably, for
Oh,
as
sure.
much as he
Yeah. Yes. In
got
that case,
four
yes. I,
legs, so
I'm talking about in the case of like if Shoutmon's not going to win, but if Shoutmon were to win, it's going to be the sitting down pose.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's ignore that we know the votes. Before we go, which of those plushes would you actually buy were they to win?
Absolutely Doraemon.
Ooh, it of any of them, it would be Offmon.
I
Because I
think
already got it. I already
I,
have a Gatchmon. It's
I think if Offmon won, I would get it, and if Chibimon won, I would get it. Oh, that's a dangerous comment because Chibimon's close enough that he could shoot up. Although I'm pretty sure I would get Chibimon.
Chibimon.
I never had the
Chibimon's
original
fun
one, but
too.
I saw it plenty online at the time, and the old one was even nice. I would love to see what they do with that now, especially because it's not a crazy design like if you do Offmon.
It'd be very easy to do
Yes.
Chibimon in addition to one of the other winners.
Yeah, see, I would like to see them find some way to loophole in one of the lower ones. Like, as much as we joke about not getting any votes, you could do Lalamon very easily.
Oh yeah.
So, Lalamon feels like one that you could loophole in and just do it because it's. In fact, Patamon you could loophole in because you can just use an existing plush.
Yeah, totally. You can just use again, got a new hat or a belt
Yes.
or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
you could easily go, we're going to do Impmon, we're going to do Doraemon, we're going to do Chibimon. We'll give you Patamon because it's an existing mold, and we'll do Lalamon because it's basically a ball with a few flippy things coming
It's a
out.
squishable.
Yes. And then I think that's about it. Does anyone else have anything else to say in this horribly long one where we had to catch up on multiple weeks of stuff?
Absolutely not.
That makes sense. We will catch you guys next time. Thanks for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.